team.rtfc.baconicecream.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Evercast. Rich couldn't make it today; he had some family stuff, so I'm taking over at hosting. So y'all better watch out. And of course,
usually always take over.
Right. Anyways, here at my right, we've got Crow.
Perfect.
And down below us, we've got Pete. He said he's out getting coffee, so he'll probably just.
I'm back.
Yep,
You're back.
So he'll scare us. All right. So yeah, we got some peeps in the chat. Let's see, who do we have? We got Jillian, we got Lloyd, we got Lucy, we got Dan, we got Jason.
Hey, where's Dan Nastic? They're complaining that we haven't started on time.
I know, right?
Exactly on time this morning.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm hosting and I have a hard out today and a hard start. So yes, it's no pun intended. Let's see, we got Ballistic Coffee Boy. We got RMGBTV. We got Disa in the house. Hey, she made it live. Cool. And we've got Crimson Howler. All right, everybody.
Is that a Crimson Howl? Am I off?
It's something. All right, so we got some stuff to talk about. Let's see. We could talk about the new game. We could talk about the roadmap.
The new game's hard as nuts.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I only played it for like 60 seconds, and I'm like, I died twice. And I'm like, oh, that sucks.
That's funny. I actually just updated the firmware 60 seconds
because
ago.
It's not hard. It's just only 4 angles, but we could talk about it. But
well, I was gonna say, yeah, you start off with the sword. Once you get the boomerang, it's a little bit better.
Oh, you get a boomerang?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, once you get Crow's playing. Once you get better. Now, the one thing, and I was telling Crow this earlier, when you start to play it, and it's been on the forums and Discord, there's a little bit weirdness with saving. And if you have it's kind of like if you start the game and you do load from last save, and if you have multiple saves, it doesn't match your screenshot. So what I've found for reading stuff is just have one save, and when you start the game, don't do load last save. Always do like load in game, and it's been fine. But yeah, I had to like rebeat one of the dungeons. But this is pretty cool.
What's the worst that'll happen though? What happens if it messes up?
It'll go back to an older save, and so like I had to yeah. So
it doesn't like break the game or the firmware or anything. It just
no. But you could lose progress. Like I was one of the bosses in the desert, and I had to go back and beat it again. It was more of like an annoyance.
It looks like the hit range of my sword extends out further than the actual sprite.
Yeah, once you get some better. And I didn't know if you press select, you can like cycle through weapons because like later in the game you also get bombs. I'm like, how do I use that?
I just got the boomerang.
Yeah.
Oh, this start. It's start. That's like Zelda.
Interesting.
Start. Go ahead, Pete.
I think it's an interesting game. I didn't realize it goes into side scrolling. Yeah, pretty cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Look at that.
I made a first impressions like.
Hey man,
for my video next week. But yeah, I figured we'd also talk about it. Now the other thing too, which is interesting, and I don't know if this is a bug, but like the potions, they're unlimited. Like if you go off screen and go back on again, and he only tells like that secret too. So I don't know, it's weird, but it's cool though. It's fun. I think like I'm about close to an hour and a half, and I think I'm at the final.
You got an hour and a half into it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's worth it right there.
Yeah. It's not super short like Quest or Rest, at least.
I can't do down thrust.
No, and actually, if it wasn't for the save thing, I may have been a little bit farther into it. Okay, what are people saying?
So if I leave the screen and come back on, it'll be there again. Yep.
Ooh, 0 points. Saying not sure. Yeah, no, Ridge Racer would be possible.
Yeah, it's a PlayStation game, so yeah, of course. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think even the arcade would definitely.
Oh, I would love to see Ridge Racer, but we need
Ridge Racer.
But we'd need Namco back.
I know.
Well, they already got a deal with Namco, dude.
They do?
What's
the deal?
They already got carts for Namco.
Yeah, but not for the Evercade VS.
I know, but that relationship is there now, so that seems like now that they have an established relationship, a product that sold stuff for them, I think that would probably be a no-brainer, right?
Well, I think the first step would be
Yes.
getting the first 2 collections to work on the Evercade VS.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I can see they can do both, right? Work on a new deal, stuff like that.
Check it out, Ballistic.
Ridge Racer is just a fun game.
It is.
They didn't iterate on that series very much.
I bought every variation of that on the PlayStation.
And you just said it right, variation.
Well, yeah, I really like
the boundaries.
Rage Racer. Is it Rave Racer or Rage Racer? I like that one because you could put your avatar in the game.
Oh, that's true. There is a new Ridge Racer Arcade 1-up that just came out. So
yes, I'd be tempted to get that if I had the money.
You know what? That is a good thing to talk about, like with now. So I'm kind of conflicted, right? Because I can play Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man on my PS4. Yes, it would be cool to play Pac-Man on on the VS, but there's some other games like Warpman. But I don't know. I think if they did come out the Namco Arcade Collection, I don't think I would care anymore. You know what I mean?
If it's the same games, I wouldn't.
I would.
Like, I would rather different Namco games, to be honest. That's
what I'm talking about. Like if they had like Ridge Racer, what are some other good Namco game? Well, Time Crisis they can't do. Like Tekken.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tekken and the PlayStation.
Absolutely. Yeah, you could do 3 Tekken games. You could do a Tekken collection.
Yeah, Tekken in itself is probably one of my favorite fighting games because I had it on the PlayStation. I love it.
And you'd be able to do more than just the PlayStation versions because there's a version on the Game Boy Advance too.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I was watching. You know what? I was watching a video, and it got me thinking about today's show. That there's a cool. Did you guys ever hear about the Doom RPGs?
Yes.
And all of the Orc versus Elves RPGs that John Carmack made. He made 5 phone games.
Have you been watching Stop Skeletons from Fighting?
Yeah, because he only puts a video out every 3 months. So I like his show, and he talked about that, and I'm like, oh my god, wouldn't that be amazing on the Evercade, that RPG series?
You got the boomerang.
Yep, I did.
But anyway.
Yeah.
It sounds like they would be. It sounds like that would be cool.
Basically, just a first-person turn-based shooter on the RPG on phones. But I mean, they're phone tech, so.
Yeah,
that could be fun.
Interesting if they could emulate that.
Yeah, they look like the Super Nintendo versions of Doom, pretty much. But
so here's another thing too with that I also thought for the I can't think for Namco collection is that it's like when the new handheld comes out, right? Then it's kind of like, well, I would almost rather have like an arcade version of it with everything in vertical, so I can play it like in Tate mode. You know what I mean? Because I think if you try to play normal games, it's going to be all like squished.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about that kind of thing with the
with the
Evercade EXP.
Yeah.
Tate.
I'm still kind of surprised they made a dedicated button for that. So
I'm thinking it's probably cheaper than have it be auto sensing like on your phone. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it would be cheaper. It'd be less equipment to put in there. So
RMGB says he has Orcs and Elves for the DS. That's one of the Doom RPGs. Yeah, I bet you that price of that cart's going to go up today after that video from Stop Skeletons from Fighting.
Yeah. Don't you hate when that happens? But that does affect price.
No, Jesus is responsible for the more spikes in game prices than anyone in YouTube.
I should tell him to do some videos on some of my games right before I sell them.
Spike. Yeah. But we'll see, though. I mean, I think that they said in the AMA that they're working on it. I mean, yeah, of course, I would welcome having those cards for the VS. Just have nothing else, being able to play those, being able to play the Splatterhouses. But yeah, if they came out with an arcade and put like Splatterhouse Arcade, put some of those arcade versions, change it up and some other stuff.
Yeah.
Back to this game though. Yes. I think it's pretty cool that the games of the month are really decent games, which speaks well to this collection overall. Like, because we're going to get this released as physical, right? Later in the year. That's the plan.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, this is like we've had I don't think we've had any bad game of the month yet, have we?
There's only been 3.
I know, but there hasn't been a bad one. I've enjoyed all 3 of them.
No, my only issue with Nessie is like there's some weird random bug at the boss where like
well, I beat Nessie, so I'm happy that one's done. But I mean, they're not bad games.
No. So here's the funny thing. I mean, I think all of us are going to get that cart no matter what. But if I go through and I beat all the games, then I'm like, am I gonna still want to replay it? I might. Like this game though, I think once you beat it, I think it's like you'll enjoy the experience once. I don't know if you'll go back.
It's more of a collector then. Do you just want to own it to be a completionist of the set? Because I think if you're just playing the games, you don't care about collecting the cards, you probably never will buy the physical version of this. Right? You save yourself $24. You've played all the games. But if you're a collector and a completionist like we are, well, I'll speak for myself. I am. I'll of course buy the cart.
Yeah, for Evercade I am. But
for $25, I mean, come on. This you've played an hour and a half of that. That's more than you get out of a $100 game sometimes.
This will probably be the only time I play this game until the cartridge comes out. Then I'll actually play it for real.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know if I'll
Disco.
like, I don't have the time to finish it this month, so I'll probably wait. I love these games. The only thing I don't like about these games is with the sword, you only have 4 directional swings. I wish they kind of just would do the 8 directional swings on these games.
I think that's more traditional.
We are going.
I know, but just because it's traditional, this is a modern take on it. So
then you'd also have to have a couple more sprites.
You're right, but
those angles, and who knows if there's space.
Sometimes nostalgia sucks. You can update games. Like this is an indie game, right?
Not I think you're just lucky in 1987.
Hey, Disa. Hey, Mike. How you doing, bud? Got to say hello to chat here. Hey, Jason. Roger. Haven't chatted in a while. How you doing? 0 Point, Ballistic Coffee Boy, Crimson Owler, DJ. All the usual guys are here. Dan's here. Lucy's here. Got to make sure we say hi to everybody in chat, especially the regulars that have been following us for multiple years.
I was going to say I did. I put it up on the screen. Maybe we're here. But yeah, that is the dilemma.
Settle down, Ed. Settle down.
No. But that is the dilemma, though. Like, do you want to jump into it now? What's someone say about Golden Axe Warrior? 0 Point.
I'm gonna finish it because there'll be so much else to be doing, and I got a feeling they're not done. They've got another major announcements coming this fall. They've already said there's something else coming. So, I think I'm going to play this as much as I can now because I don't know if I'll be able to get back to it in the fall.
Is there a firmware update list that came with this firmware update? Because I'm just curious what else was
release notes?
Crow, are you a beta tester?
No, I am not.
Okay, so me and Ed, we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do we have a release list on that? Did they release notes on that?
We can check.
I could check the Discord.
You know what? If someone from Blaze is on here, it would be cool that I don't know if you did release them, but because they're not on the Evercade Facebook, they're not on Evercade info. It would be nice to post them out for the community, right?
Sometimes they're on the website.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to find.
The Evercade, official Evercade website.
Evercade blog, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if this firmware update was just to add the game, and that's it.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at their blog.
The beta channel, because...
Blog.
Well, I was going to say anything there we couldn't talk about here, but...
Yeah, they just have the game of the month listed here with a whole bunch of screenshots, like a lot of screens.
Yeah, they don't...
Yeah, I didn't see any release notes.
Yeah.
Because I'm always interested in what has been fixed.
Yeah, they should actually do that and put it in official channels as release notes, because every other company who does online updates for games or OSs do that. So
that'd be nice. Yeah. See, it's weird because if there's new features, they will, but if not,
yeah. But if it's like little things,
well, if it's released to the public, they should know what's in there.
There you go.
There were no other updates. There you go.
There were no other updates.
Ernest P. Whirl.
Hey, Martin just said hello to me in the channel, in the super secret channel. Brian, how you doing, bro?
Not announced yet. I'm lurking as I leave.
Hey, Brian, I didn't ghost you in our chat, Ryan. I had to go to work. But I were chatting yesterday morning, and I just left, and I realized I never got back to him.
That would be a Sega collection.
Beep beep.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? What the good thing is, I love racing games, and I know having Sean and Ryan as a part of Blaze, we'll always get a racing game that allows me to hold out hope that we'll get an F1 collection from the good old days, or a Ridge Racer, perhaps. Because some of the best racing games came out on the PlayStation, in my opinion.
And it makes me wish I had that clip of Kazurai saying Ridge Racer.
Oh, you'll find it.
Okay, Sean.
So Sean put kind of what I guessed. Yeah, normally do updates. I think they didn't have time. Of course, Master System Collection. Hey, Lucy, that'd be cool. 11 carts this year. So roadmap. I forget when you guys brought it up. That's so. What do we think might be the other two, like carts 27 and 28?
You know what?
What?
We haven't been right. Like, we very seldom guess right because they're just pull crap out of the air that no one's thinking about, right? Like, Topland collection, IREM collection. Like, I don't think we ever mentioned either one of those.
Like, I was not thinking of a Toa Plan collection. But,
my mind didn't go there, which is stupid because the 2 years have taught us that they go there, right? They're always going there, but we never go there. We're always thinking about them. I guess what we played when we were kids and more, mainstream stuff. I have no idea what's coming. I guess, but I know a 99.9% chance being wrong. Okay, I'll say the Collector Vision collection. I say they have to. They have to put that out. That's it. That's my only update.
If they were arcade collections, I'd say I still want Taito, but even not even.
Didn't we get the Taito on Switch, Pro? Don't we have Taito on Switch?
Yeah, but we don't have Taito on Evercade.
That is true.
Besides those collections, I don't think none of those collections have the game Zookeeper.
Yeah.
No. So
I wouldn't mind, now that Intellivision is farming out all their IPs, I wouldn't mind seeing an Intellivision Collection 3 because there is some bangers that aren't on those first two yet.
I guess Atari Collection 3.
What's left? Well, the only thing left in Atari is the Activision Collection, and we know
there is plenty of stuff left for Atari.
I know, but I mean that excites me.
But that would be an Activision collection, I would think.
So here's what I suspect, because in the AMA, and actually, spoiler, probably my next video, the Rich went ahead and collected all the main good points from the AMA. And one of them is they're looking at getting more handheld games in the collection. So, and especially
we went through the AMA last week on the show. Were you not on the show last week?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, it was just me and you.
Oh, just two of us, Crow.
Family,
yeah. So it's new to you, Ed.
Yeah, you weren't here last week.
Yeah.
You and Rich stepped in. Yeah, that was a great show.
But they said they're looking at getting more handheld games in the collection. So then I got to think Lynx. There's, I got to think they could add some Tate mode.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of Lynx games still left.
Oh yeah, dude. Game Gear. I said last week, Game Gear's got some of the best versions of mainstream titles that came out on Genesis and Super Nintendo. The Game Gear versions are really good. Really into the Game Gear.
I mean, you could do your Master System collection.
If it's Activision, yes. If it's Activision, otherwise there aren't too many other.
I don't think it would be called.
Ed, you get one guess. Or two guesses. What do you think the two carts are?
So Lynx, that one of them has got to be like Lynx 3.
Okay.
I'm almost, because they said that third collection, and then so I think that would be a good one. I think so. Okay. Here's the thing. I think that there's going to be also a 13th collection. I think there's going to be a bonus collection. So I think that
not part of the roadmap. That'd be taking a detour.
But what if they've never done that? But let's say if they did that just to surprise us. Let's say if they said, you know what? Because here's what I think Blaze does. I think they plan out safely exactly what they know they're going to get for each month, because they know they can deliver. And I think maybe, let's say if there's some other IP that they're not sure of, that they might go ahead and get. I think 28 is going to be some other total off the wall collection that we don't know about. Some other.
You would say the 12th collection because there's only 11 up here.
Oh, okay. 11. Yeah. So yeah, I think number 28 is going to be something else cool, some other games we haven't heard of. And then I think they're going to do a bonus game. I think they're going to surprise us. Maybe it could be something like a Game Gear, maybe it could be a Sega. Nothing, obviously nothing or maybe an Activision. I don't know. It's going to be some other kind of mainstream like in time for Christmas.
Jason is going Pico 3. I guess if I have to guess, I'm with Crow, Atari 3, and maybe Pico 3. Perhaps.
Yeah.
I'll say Atari 3 and a Konami 1.
Konami?
Oh God, no.
I'm gonna say Konami. Oh, you're saying no to Grum. I haven't yet.
Cheetah Man or Riot.
The Cheetah Man. The Action 52 pack. The Action 52 collection, and it includes the NES and the Genesis Action 52s. That's 100.
Is that the Turtles collection?
Hey, you never know. I think you never know.
Is that available? How do you order the Cowabunga collection? Is that on Switch or something?
It's on everything.
Physical?
It's actually coming out. Yeah, it's physical. It's coming out later this month, and you can pre-order it on Amazon. I know.
The Cowabunga is that the only place you can get the Cowabunga collection?
No, it's not a limited. I just know you can order it from Amazon because that's where I've seen it. So it's probably going to be like a regular retail release that you could pick up anywhere.
And then they got the new one coming out too, right? Isn't there a new one coming out?
That doesn't. I'll tell you that doesn't really excite me as much.
Are you talking about Shredder's Revenge?
I mean, the Cowabunga collection would excite me because that's a bunch of games, right?
Yeah,
but there's here's
the Shredder's Revenge. I'm meh on it because they never do good remakes on that.
No, but I'll tell you my problems. For one, the theme song removed, that's horrible. That's
removed?
The main Mad Little Pixel did a video and he said something's had to be changed. Like the main theme song from the arcade is removed. They had to take away the Pizza Hut, but I don't from the pizza icons. I don't care about that.
Yeah, Pizza Hut sucks.
As long as they go pizza time. But yeah, the main theme song. I forget who owns the license to that. And so here's my thing. I don't like. There's ports
probably
like the arcade version for NES, which wasn't good. There's too many ports of Tournament Fighters. I don't know. To be totally honest, if I just want to be lazy and play those games, I'll wait for that sale for it to come on sale to be $5. Otherwise, I'd rather if I was going to get a physical collection, I'd rather have the real physical media. I mean, you can have the arcade. So.
I was wrong on the release date.
But I'd welcome it if it was on Evercade. Maybe for something physical for $20, maybe. I don't know.
It might not have an actual release date yet because I'm seeing December 31st, 2022.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have ordered it if it was available because there's a lot of good art. That's got the Super Nintendo games on there and everything, right?
Yeah, it's got it's got all the arcade games. It's like what Konami normally does with their collections, what they've been doing, I think.
It's not available on
Amazon. The Castlevania collection, yeah.
Oh, you can't get it on Amazon Canada because they suck.
I was thinking of the Capcom Fighting Collection. That's what I was thinking of.
Capcom Beat 'em Ups collection that they put it on Switch.
The Capcom Fighting Collection that's coming out later this month.
That's I'm kind of meh on that one too.
I'm really interested in that one because it has every single Darkstalker game on it, and I really like the Darkstalker games.
Darkstalker? That's a fighting game similar to Street Fighter, correct?
Yeah, it's like this. It's like the fighting game, but with movie monsters.
Yeah,
there's a Frankenstein, there's a vampire.
That sounds interesting, actually.
Yeah,
it's that than the original Street Fighter characters. They're kind of meh.
Yeah, I really like this series. There's a mummy and stuff. I was really into the series since it came out. So, and it's got all 5 of the games in there. So I'm probably gonna get that for sure. Okay.
I said keeping up. For some reason, it muted me. So one thing that I struggle with, and I talk about a lot, yes, I would like some classic games to be there, but then hearing about a Street Fighter collection or even Turtles, that doesn't excite me. But playing that indie game of the month or playing a game I've never heard of before, that actually excites me, regardless if there's replay value. With that said, something like R-Type. I welcome that. That's a game I haven't played in a super long time, having an arcade. So I do like having a mixture of both. You know what I mean?
Think about it, Ed, because I've said that all along too. I like all the obscure stuff because if you want to open up to the mainstream gaming audience, the Evercade and the VS, what is the payoff or what is the likelihood of somebody who can go and get the TMT collection on Switch, or what would make them buy it on Evercade over Switch, where Switch has an ecosystem, profiles, all that wonderful stuff, and Evercade is over by itself, doesn't have a lot of those. Their friends might not be playing on it. So I think by if they focus on mainstream titles and collections, they probably not going to get the payoff they want. If instead of just focusing on what they're doing now with like IRM, Renovation, Gremlins, more fat indie games, right? They're really building their ecosystem of, hey, you want to play something different and fun? This is the home for it, right?
But I think it's it's good to have a mixture of that stuff, because if you think about it, the first 10 collections have been, or even further than that, have been. I think it's been like the first 10 collections have been games that have already been released that people could have played already, and yet still the Evercade still was selling. So there's still an appeal to that as well.
Yeah, I think the balance is there. I think though, like, if they skewed 70% like this, what they're doing now, and then 30% mainstream old arcades that have a really big kind of nostalgia grab, I think they're probably doing good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think owning arcade, get like the arcade R type, like that's never officially been on something. So like that's like zeroing, like that's I agree with that. And then the only kind of classic games I really want to see for preservation and for an easier way to play is Activate. Give us an Atari 2600 Activision collection. That's.
I think arcade, if like they could really make a name for themselves if they've said, we're switching our focus from more of a console retro titles. There are going to be a few of those every year, but the majority are arcade. I mean, they could really grab that market. Like they could grab that market big time. Say if we're going to release 12 titles a year, 12 collections, 8 or 10 are arcade and 2 are like regular console collections. They could really, really start pushing it because those games aren't available anymore.
Yes,
that would be the Activision Anthology collection.
I have that on the PSP. I think
I have that on the GBA. I did a dedicated video. Literally, all they would have to do is they could just port the GBA version as is. Just put that one ROM full of all those ROMs on the cart if they.
Yeah.
If they had the license, no. See that's awesome. You say that, Pete, because kind of funny. Like, what are we up to? What are we up to? Like number 25 in the regular red carts. What are we up to?
Let me look.
What was on the roadmap?
We have 24. Yeah, 25 coming.
So it wouldn't. So like, notice that like slowly. Yeah, actually, Pete, you just made me realize something. So like slowly they're weaving in more arcade carts, and I wouldn't be surprised if like next year it flips. Like the majority we get arcade carts, and then the red carts are going to be more like indie.
Yeah, I think that could be
great.
I think the only holding them back on that, if they wanted to, was trying to find who owns the licenses for all those obscure arcade games from the 80s and 90s. Yeah, that's gotta be a nightmare, right? Trying to figure out who owns certain games.
I don't know how hard that would be, to be honest.
I'm assuming it's not as simple as one email.
29 by the end of the year.
Sean, that doesn't seem good. You should go for 30, man. Come on, 29.
Round it up to 30.
Literally.
That's because we're getting 3 on one day.
Like the Gilco. Like yes, like it's so great getting those arcade. So the funny thing is.
Oh, go ahead.
That the only downside to having something like, let's say, a Television Collection 3 or like even an Atari Activision collection is, I know like a lot of like modern gamer, like they don't, even a lot of people who buy the Evercade, that's like too old school grab. You know what I mean? Like they don't like those old titles, but I think those would still be great just to have. Computer games, maybe they'll switch over to computer and arcade.
I think 23 is when they introduce micro computer games.
I wonder if that would be a whole other series with like a different box color.
Well, yeah, I think they go different color. Like, yeah, I think
numbering.
Yeah, they should. I mean, that would be really cool, right?
Yeah, you know what? I would be fine if they said, "Hey, we're gonna do." If they did number 30, and they didn't say that they were gonna end it, and then they started off something with a different color, and they did like arcade. If they did like arcade and like computer games, I think that would be great because there's so many, and the indie, of course, there's so many out there.
Yeah, indie by itself, the best thing about it is like every day is a new indie game coming out that could easily run on this system because they're all retro inspired, right?
Yes. So
yeah, I think Intelligent Collection 3 would be a no-brainer considering Intelligent is hoping for business to sell everything they have.
Yes. And I wonder if we're going to, because I want to see something more like an indie Playdate style collect, not necessarily that graphics, but I want to see something where they throw like 20 games on there that are just like silly jump in and jump out. Like in like the Playdate kind of has like a lot of those sort of arcadey ones where you just like, you know, like the Surfer one or the one like where you shred documents. But you know, games like that you only play for like 10 minutes to waste time.
The Evercade
for like
one
20 of
button
them.
collection.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes. Okay. Intellavania. I see. Yes, we need. Yeah, I would love that.
Well, if they did an Intellivision collection, if they just focused on the new games for Intellivision that's been produced in the last 10 years, they can build a cart just from like Miner 49er, Electrolux, like all their collections, bunch that Collector Vision has done. Like there's a ton of just Intellivision games that are not Intellivision properties. They're other people's properties that are amazing.
And Magic.
Yeah, Magic would be cool. I mean, Magic games like are just, they're really well done games. It'd be interesting. So I have no idea what those two new console carts are going to be.
Yeah, nobody really.
Except we're getting a 3, unless they change their mind.
Well, they said, but did they guarantee that one of those two would be a number 3, or that could be just further down the line?
They just mentioned last year, right? They said a number 3 was coming next year, so maybe they changed their mind.
Maybe there will be a number 3. Maybe it is a number 3.
He don't what? Don't what? What was that in response to?
Eye down smile.
Huh. But yeah, I think Pico 3 is a. I think Pico 3 is a fair guess. I mean, I'm sure that's almost going to happen. Pico 3 wouldn't surprise me at all.
What's the other one that would be a part 2?
Oh, Mega Cats.
Yeah, yeah.
Renovation could easily have a second one.
Yeah.
Yes, they could. And maybe we get some Sega CD games on there too.
Aren't they coming out on some Sega CD on that new Sega Mega Drive Mini 2 or something it's called?
Oh yeah, there's going to be some Sega CD games on there.
So Ernest,
why is everybody retracting messages? That's hilarious. What are you guys?
Yeah, I see that. If I had the means, I would make that, and I would do something crazy where maybe it would have like a few, like 3 VSs in it, and you could like switch between the different, you know, so you could maybe store like 6 carts, and you could, like kind of like a Neo Geo, and you could switch between the things and have like have a light up marquee to reflect which VS it was.
Remember Nintendo put out the SNES and the NES versions where you could put like 12 carts in it?
Yeah.
That
was
awesome.
For like
once they gave us 2, you know, we were going to ask for 4, 6, 8, 10 carts. That's just, you know.
Yeah, they should. Well, I remember from like the Commodore 64 with the cartridge port, they had a thing that you could plug in, that we could plug multiple cartridges at the same time, and just physically hit a button to switch between them.
Yeah, it's like CD players back in the day, right? You could load like 6 or 7 CDs in a.
Oh yeah, I still have one of those with the cartridges.
It used to be a carousel, and you put your CD.
I don't think I got rid of that. I think it's under the house. I had a bunch of cartridges that I would just.
What else is under the house, Crow?
Oh, you wouldn't want to know.
Hey, how many? Did we do an update on how many XPs are left for pre-order?
There's like 10%.
10%, yeah.
And it's been a week, right? A week and a bit.
Yeah, a week and a half. Or yeah.
I'm impressed that they got that much sold. Considering, I still say most people prefer the white, I think, over the black.
You know what?
I actually like the white over the black.
I just think people say that just to be contrarian, like they just don't want
to. No,
man.
man.
Is that true?
No.
I don't know why people like the white more.
I like the white more because it feels more. I don't know. It just feels more like, I don't know, modern and clean. For me,
I like the white, but I wouldn't say that I like it more.
I don't like it as much because it gets dusty.
System to play
less than 10%. I don't know. Black is cool because it's like Genesis TurboGrafx and Steam Deckish.
Yeah, I like white because I like, you know, a Nintendo kid, right? PlayStation was all that white stuff.
Oh, it was more like gray, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. For me, when I saw the white and I compared to the black, I just white looks really good.
Well, it just sticks out like a sore thumb, like with everything else I have. So I'm looking at like what I have here. I have an Xbox. I
talked about
Xbox One S that happens to be white, and it's the only thing that's white there.
Yeah, for me, I get. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. For me, also, yeah, the black is more nostalgic. You know, like a Game Gear.
But the black will be more. Will be an actual literally cleaner because you won't see the dirt on it as much as the white one.
That's why I like. That's another reason I like black handheld or just consoles in general because.
But then again, if you wash your hands, it shouldn't be a problem.
Neon pink.
But that's why I think could be impacting the sales just a small bit was just the color, right? People do like the color of their systems.
Well, the other thing I noticed is that on the screen, it's where it says Evercade and then it's a EXP and it says limited edition. Right after Evercade, it's got the registered trademark symbol, and I've like that doesn't appear anywhere else. Like if you look at your Evercade or your Evercade VS, there's no registered trademark symbol there too. I wonder if that's throwing me off too.
Yeah. So, and the funny thing is, and I think I talked about this in my video. So there's another reason also too to get like the EXP, and that's kind of like the FOMO reason of that. Like what if there's chip shortages? I'm sure people who ordered the limited like the VS will get priority. Those will ship out sooner. I don't know. I'm just basing it off of last year, and that's why I made sure to order mine like right away, like at 11 o'clock. You know, like there's a priority on those. I don't know. So that's maybe that's a dumb reason, but that's maybe another. I think what I think is important for everyone here is watching. You order the Evercade that you order the color and the kind that you like the most. I think that's what's important. The other thing too that and I've talked about, which is kind of funny, that depending on where you live, if you order, from out of country where you don't have taxes, then like getting like the white version might actually be the same price or more expensive. So I'll throw that out there too. Buried in this video. You guys always tease me about that. Exactly what? Cool. You agree with me. That's all.
Exactly, Ed.
Yeah, exactly, Ed.
That sounds like another YouTube channel.
Special edition cart. So you know what? So what I think exactly. Maybe that'll be my second channel. Exactly.
Exactly,
so,
Ed.
You know what's black carts, dude? If they did a Neo Geo, it would have to be black. Like I want there to be like a Neo Geo AES collection just for the nostalgia. But would you guys be fine with if they said, "Hey, in December we're coming out with a limited edition collection. It's only going to be available for a few months, and then it'll, kind of like some of the other ones, and maybe it's like in a special box. It's unnumbered. Maybe they give you a little bit better booklet, a little bit more money, a little more expensive. I think that'd be cool.
Same contents on the cartridge?
No, like let's say if they like something new. Like let's say if they said, "Hey, we're going to do like a Halloween collection, and it's going to be like an orange cart and like an orange case, and we're going to have these Halloween games, but you can only buy it this year." Kind of like the Dizzy collection and other stuff. Then it'll go away forever.
Well, then
Zero puts up a good point. The white carts sitting inside a black console.
I think that looks cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. I like that. I mean,
I'm just a Jedi. You guys are obviously Sith, so.
His prototype is a black.
Yeah, keep in mind,
All right. Speaking of
for sale.
Speaking of bracing yourself.
Would you kill this thing?
I got to make some more of those and change it up when I get more time. Thank you, Ian Hoppies.
You need more of those?
So, what's funny? I hope someday, like I can go to go to some convention, see you guys, see some people. I hope someday I'm at a convention and I just hear somebody just like saying that, like, "Would you kill this thing?" I just like fitly just like hear that until I walk over to them. Although the downside is I know like meeting people in real life, they're going to want me to do that and it's going to destroy my voice. But I will do that for each and every individual person if that happens someday.
Surprised no one has mentioned the 4-screw access in the back.
Well, I don't. I was thinking about that.
Really?
I never really saw pictures of the back. I don't think.
You know what? That was one of the things, and I totally forgot about to be like, will you be able to actually get in it to like replace the battery to make modifications?
Well, yeah, I asked that question
awesome.
Too, but then I just really wasn't thinking about it.
It sounds fun to stop.
I'm trying to see if I can find pictures now.
Yeah, if you have anything, like put it in the private chat, and I can share it if you have anything.
There we go. I found the pictures. There it is. There's the back. I don't. Oh, well, you know what? I might not have noticed it. I think they're covered up with plugs.
Speaking of back access and plugs,
That's what she said. Woo!
Yeah, I miss EB too, but
had to
our
do it.
last year's got our EB games just got switched over to GameStop, so now it's all GameStop here.
I heard about that.
I thought that happened a long time ago.
No, just last year. It used to be
Yeah.
EB Games in Canada forever. It was separate companies. Well, under the same umbrella, and then GameStop got popular again and rebranded EB Games back to GameStop.
That is a good question. I bet the dev kit Evercade probably looks like the same. I would imagine, or maybe it's not like What if it was like painted something special like green? Then everyone would be like, "I want one." GameStop will be gone in 10 years.
Well, it depends on how they go forward because they're kind of switching over to selling other stuff.
Yeah, they're more of a toy store, collectible store. Yeah. Their real estate in their store now for games is quite small. They haven't got that's a great place for cards. They got trading cards in there, everything.
Ooh.
Cards there in Canada.
To be honest, whenever I go in there, I'm not looking at games. I'm just thinking what kind of random crap they got laying around.
Yeah. And plus, if you're like a platinum member, you get a good discount, so it's cool.
Hey, we're gonna get the dev diary. Sorry, we're gonna get the dev diary on Discord in the coming months. That'll be nice.
Oh yeah.
Missed the old NES and Game Boy cart shells in the middle.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I have that trackball, and I'd rather use it on my VS than my Egret 2 Mini.
Well, again, they'd have to somehow have a firmware update that would allow the games to be controllable with those sort of devices.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's really only just set up for like a D-pad right now.
So you know what? That's a good thing to see what they're focused on because people we definitely want that. There's going to be new hardware, and then some people still want asteroids fixed, which it will eventually. But to me, that's not as much a top priority. I think what they were waiting on is having the new handheld, getting the wireless on the handheld, doing the final update for the other handhelds, and then I think we can see leaderboards and maybe online play. But it makes sense that that the handheld community they just don't want to divide the community in half. So I think that's what they're waiting. I think that's what they're going to be focused on. We'll have to see.
You could bring bigger.
Ooh, retro gamer.
Well, the fact that there's now 3 different Evercade models and they've lasted so long, and there's X number of collections that keeps growing. I think that's really what would bring in bigger deals. The fact that it's been proven that this thing is popular.
It's pretty much anytime you go to a company, say we want your license, the next question coming back at them is like, okay, what's your install base? What's your revenue projections? How many carts do you expect to sell? What's my royalty? What's my percentage? It's all money. It's all money. They don't make decisions because of the goodness of their heart. They'll say, oh, you got 500,000 install base. Your projected sales of this cart is this. My projected cut of this is going to be that. Oh, it's not enough. Give me more. And you either sign the deal or walk away. It's pretty straightforward. But it's all money. It's all dollars.
Mm-hmm.
But so
you know what you're not as in when you're an individual guy who got a game and you want their game. And then that's probably easier to get indie titles than it is mainstream retro titles.
But so here's the part that here's the part of that I don't understand. Let's say if you're a big company, and let's say obviously Namco licensing your game to Switch is going to get more money. Maybe Arcade won up more money. But if you have someone like Blaze that comes to you and says, "Listen, all you have to do is sign this paper and give us the ROMs. We'll take care of everything else." Why wouldn't you do why? Unless my only thought is they think, well, we don't want to have it on multiple products because we want people to pay more money for this arcade one. I think maybe that I just don't think they understand how Evercade works and that it's niche and it's not taking away money from those other things. That's what irritates me. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't companies just want free money? Are they too greedy? Is it not enough?
They could have existing licensing deals with other hardware partners, stuff like that, right? That impacts.
That's true. That's true.
Let us dream, keep reality out of it. Nah, man, I speak the cold truth. I'm a businessman. I that's how that stuff works.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Whenever Sean says maybe, then yeah.
What did he say? What's he saying maybe to?
They might have something exclusive.
I think Ian said, could the XP appear in the next issue, Retro Gamer? And he said they might have something exclusive. Who knows? So that would be good recognition, right?
Maybe they should like throw a bone to Evercade Evolution magazine. I prefer that magazine than Retro Gamer now. Sorry.
But here's my only issue with that though, is that like Retro Gamer or something like a bigger magazine will get to more people.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, get it there, but like, show some love to the Evercade Evolution, the fan magazine, right? Like that, like those people work really hard to get that magazine out. I'm a big supporter of it.
Oh, definitely.
And Evercade has done really good stuff with that magazine. They've had interviews and stuff. So
the rest of 20, it's going to be spicy and unexpected. And then here's the spoiler, of course.
They just come in here to troll, right? Both of them.
You know what? I love that because no other company in existence would come here like on a little podcast just to like hang out with us. That's what I think is
think
great
of one company that did it, but we shall not go there.
Oh yeah, but you know what I mean. Like your Nintendos, your Segas, like no one else is doing this, and that's what I think.
Yeah, they just don't.
Oh, Magic Pixel would hang out in my streams sometimes.
Ooh, Mad Little Pixel.
What? No, Magic Pixel. The
Magic?
People who create Zaccaria Pinball.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're like their go-to guy. That's why you're one of the few people that like do really good pinball content on YouTube, right? Like,
well, I'm trying to actually make it good. I don't consider it. I mean, if it doesn't take much effort, I don't consider it to be good.
I'm the authority on what good is on YouTube, so I like it. So you're good.
Yeah,
it's just my perspective, and my perspective doesn't matter when it comes to other people watching videos.
I come to eat popcorn, but you're having a
can't blame Ryan, and then,
right, Sean?
And then of course I blame Sean.
Sean, you can't blame Sean. It's like blaming a Care Bear on for something. Like you just can't. Like he's like a big stuffy.
I'm sure you could blame a Care Bear.
No, man, Care Bears are. You can't blame him for anything.
You could blame a Care Bear.
No, you can't. You can't blame a Care Bear. Ryan, on the other hand. But yeah, so yeah, man, it's awesome. Like I am super stoked. I think I'm more stoked for the EXP than I was for the VS.
Yeah,
because I'm a handheld guy, right? And take my Evercade wherever I go. Now I'll have an even more powerful, awesome Evercade with Tate mode. It's gonna be wild.
I'm interested in getting it in my hands, but I think I'd still be playing the Evercade VS more.
Yeah, it depends what I'm doing, right? If I'm not going in in the winter months, where I'm home more, the VS is probably getting used more. But in the summer, when I'm always out and about doing stuff and I'm trying to do vacations, yeah.
The funny thing with the hand, it'll be one of those things where I won't realize how much I'm going to love it until I see it, because it's going to have a bigger screen, be able to play in Tate mode, and that'll be a different experience, and you can play on your TV. So for me, I don't take my portables out of the house, but I like using them in the house, on the couch or something. You know what I mean? Or lying in bed. So they're sometimes if you're
the Switch Lite, right? It's probably the size of the Switch Lite.
No, I actually think it would be smaller than that. Because the Switch, it's got a smaller screen than the Switch.
Yeah.
That's great. They used all the purple paint last year.
My problem is I tried taking a handheld, and it's I'm going to lay in the hammock and take my handheld and play in the hammock. The problem is when I get in the hammock, I'll just fall asleep though.
Yeah. So for me, I don't know, I have mixed feelings taking things on vacation, but usually I find I'm on vacation. I think it's cool that yes, people will post videos by their pool on the beach or their Evercade, but I'm why aren't you at the beach? Why aren't you swimming? I don't know. For me, I take vacation to get away from all that stuff.
Yeah, but you have to sleep on vacation. So before you go to bed, you can unwind, play some Evercade. That's what I do when I go on camping and stuff. It's for that downtime where I don't want to watch hotel TV and I'm just chilling.
Yeah, I can see that. You
know what I mean? You're just recovering from a day out and stuff. You just, chilling back, want to play a couple games, nothing exhausting. Yeah. That's why I take Evercade camping, take it even for day trips if I'm not driving. I'll play the Evercade.
I'm stuck.
Is that too much vacation? Why am I here? Yeah, it's so what's funny.
You're always on vacation, Sean.
It'll depend on it'll depend on pocketable it is, because if I know I'm going to be in that situation, I have like my Tetris collection on my GBA, and I can just whip it out. And even though it's a not as good of a screen, but if something happens to that, like if something happened to my Evercade, especially my purple, I would be like more devastated. I don't know. But yeah, I have mixed feelings on that. But I hear what you mean. Like for downtime, it can be.
Yeah, if it's smaller than the Switch Lite, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, is it smaller than the Switch Lite?
I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't it be the same size as the regular Evercade?
Yeah, it looks like
that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
and that's a lot smaller than
that'd be
Switch.
a great size. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike. Yep, they are releasing everything. They're opening up their catalog to everything. It's going to be. I'm excited for that, man. Like, I just want to play the games. I don't care where I play it. There's nothing like you should never fault the company for getting all of their old games out there somewhere and for customers to enjoy. Like, do it. More companies should do that.
Oh yeah.
Double down.
That's what I mean. You have like a lot of these companies that are just they're just sitting on these IPs and properties. And they don't,
slightly shorter, slightly wider than the OG handheld, smaller than the Switch Lite. There you go. That's awesome.
Okay. I was hoping it would be
smaller than the Switch Lite. I guess the Switch Lite is smaller than I thought it was.
The Switch Lite is. I have one somewhere. Yeah, that's awesome.
Again, I never got the Switch Lite because I don't normally play the Switch portably to begin with.
I kid that one.
I don't think I got the Switch because I think modern Nintendo sucks. But one of the
you don't have the Switch? Did you say you don't have the Switch?
No. So not to go too far off, but like, so I don't like when I went into I think like Target, like they had like a full Switch and a Switch Lite, and when I actually touched the full Switch, like I couldn't like. Now I don't know why people complain about the Joy-Cons being so horrible. The Switch Lite was a lot better. It was like.
The Switch Lite's a much better designed system for handheld use. But I won't I won't go on my rant about the anti-consumerism of Nintendo. I've said it way too much, and I maintain it.
I will get a Steam
Dude,
I will get a Steam Deck before I get like a Switch, because I know I'll be able to play my games like Nintendo.
I would 100%. As someone who owns a lot of Switch games, been playing it since launch. Main console I play. Switch Deck, when it comes out, I'll play that more than my Switch, and I recommend anybody, like, if they had the money, only the Switch is nothing compared to what I can see with the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
plus the Steam Deck, you get Steam access to the cheapest PC games like around. Like, it's like they have so many cheap games on that system.
And what else is neat, like Metal Jesus did a video, and like some people kind of got like good old gaming to work on it. Like some games kind of.
I'm waiting for mine. Mine should be here this fall. I was stupid and smart, I guess. I ordered the most expensive one thinking that would be the first one produced, but that was the complete opposite. Most first systems are the 256 one.
I'd get the cheapest one. Somebody like Retro Crisis or someone did a comparison, and like having that tempered glass, it's not that much better. It just like it reduces glare, but you can pop in your own hard drives and stuff.
So the weird thing with me on this, with the Steam Deck, I have zero intent to play retro games on it. My only intent is to play Steam games on it, because I play my retro games on my Evercade and other systems. So like I have zero intent to do emulation on there. I'm sticking to legal means if I can. That's just me though.
I wasn't interested because I already have a laptop.
See, I don't have a gaming PC. You guys know that. I've told you off the record. I've got my PC is like 6 inches by 6 inches. It's made for video editings, and YouTube stuff. Yeah. I don't have a gaming PC. That's why I bought it. Like my PC struggles to play Lord of the Rings Online, which is a 14-year-old MMO. Like really struggles. Like it feels like it's going to take off and walk off my desk.
So yeah, what's interesting, and the reason why Steam Deck, why it looks so great, he did a video, is he showed a comparison. Like on the screen, it looks great, but if you output that, then it's going to look like to like a monitor. Then it's going to look like crap unless you bump up the settings. But that's why it runs so well and how they're able to do it. But yeah, if I was going to get another console, I would get that because it's easy plug and play. The only thing I would emulate maybe like PS2 or like Dreamcast or SAT, but I think I would use it more for.
Well, here's the thing though. It's like if I wanted to emulate that stuff, I could already do that with my phone.
Yeah, but dude, you can't like.
Yes, I can. I have somewhere the thing that goes
I know.
on the sides. You clip on another controller.
I know.
Controller, and it doesn't even take batteries. So
yeah. No, you can do all that, but like if I wanted a dedicated device, like I thought about that. Like if I was gonna get back into PC gaming, I would get that. But see, that's the thing though. Like PS5 more the same. Xbox X more the same.
Oh, I have that for my phone.
Evercade excites me.
Yeah, exactly. So I could play anything emulated I want on my phone.
I use that to play Diablo Immortal.
But it's just kind of more the fact that you could like load up like Stardew Valley, Terraria, all these other great like.
Oh,
games.
Stardew Valley on the Evercade would be awesome.
That would be.
I probably would try to play it more.
I would. Yeah. I mean, I know there's other means, but like the Steam. I'm just saying, if I were to get another console,
there you go.
It would be the Steam Deck because they do it seamlessly and they do it right.
I'll let you know how it is when I get mine.
Yeah,
but like
that's just if I had the means. Yes, there's other ways. Yes, you can like have a powerful enough computer to emulate stuff, but
yeah, it'll be like for me. I think I'm gonna play. Basically, I think my Steam Deck's gonna be for existing games I enjoy and trying them out on that system, like and being able to play them. I'll need the dock though. Definitely need the dock.
Yeah, see that's I wonder because with the dock, then you have unlimited power, then you can limit settings. Some YouTuber needs to do a video like how does it play stuff in dock mode.
Yeah, Jason just said the Pow Kitty. Did you guys remember I did a video on the Pow Kitty? Whoever makes them sent me one for free on my channel.
Yeah,
like I went and did the video as I was unboxing it. The screen fell off.
Yes.
So Pow Kitty, yeah, you can hold a candle to Evercade's build quality.
See that's the thing. I have a
right by my desk. I'm scared to open it because it might explode.
See, that's the thing. I was surprised on the Switch, like how bad I was like, really, like adding. I don't know.
Oh my God, Deesa, I'm with you. I love farming simulation, gathering games, crafting games. I love those. Like on a rainy day, that's why like Animal Crossing came out when it came out during the pandemic, and it was like winter. Was raining, you weren't doing anything. That's why Animal Crossing, I played that to death. All I did was like cut trees and stuff.
See, that is kind of neat. Like on a handheld, you can have a more intimate experience and kind of like be on the couch.
Almost
intimate, Ed. You go with that, Ed.
I know, man.
And Ed?
Because you're like, I know you can do that, but then for me, I would have to have like another phone because it would like take out.
How big is your phone, bro?
What?
How big is your phone?
Well, this is the Samsung Galaxy 21 Ultra, so it's probably.
What do you got loaded there?
This is Antstream.
Oh, yeah, I play that. I play it on my VCS.
So here's the other things we kind of mentioned this, like, and Crow, I'll put all this in this category. But Crow, I think regardless of whatever job you've had to like to tinker, but I know like me and Pete, I know like we have jobs where we're busy all the time, and I think like at the end of the day, we don't want to be jacking with stuff, right? Like we just want stuff to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, we don't want to spend. It's like so. That's the other. Like the plug and play part is really like yes, I could spend time and configure RetroArch, and I've done that. But I don't. When it comes down to gaming, I just want to play. Like I even get irritated sometimes where I literally just want to play like Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man on my PS4, and I got to run a stupid update if I want my score to go online. Like,
and I was gonna say you're like me. You're a console gamer, but the recent consoles. So whenever the PS3 come out in that generation, we had update stuff. It started slowly navigating itself to the PC realm, and now it is the PC realm.
Yeah, it is.
So need less updating now than because they have auto update on Steam, which is awesome. It's always updated. Whereas in the PlayStation, you got to wait for you to boot it. Xbox pretty good though. Xbox
but like it's like a PC, but with more limitations because if you upgrade to a new model, you don't even know if your existing games will work on it.
Yeah. It's just, that's why I think as I get older, busier, shorter attention span, like the Evercade is perfect for it. Like all retro games.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's why I said I think it'd be the Steam Deck because then I have a back catalog. I don't see that going out of date for a few years.
What are you fueled by pizza and larger? Oh, you mean lager? Not ale. Pizza and ale, Ryan. Not lager. Gross. Lager, they have to brew it for like 30 days. It takes all.
There we go.
Anyway, lager.
We can go another few minutes to wrap.
You're done, dude. You're done. You got to get out of here. So let's wrap it up.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I don't know what this show was about today, but it was fun.
My final thought is I'm not surprised we didn't make it to Atari Arcade 1.
Oh yeah, we get talking. It's like we might never do another collection review ever again if Blaze keeps putting out news.
True, and that's fine by me. I like that.
All I know is go subscribe to Ed at the Evercade Effect and Crow at the Crow Continuum for Evercade games. And if you like collecting cards and trading cards and hijinks, come subscribe to my channel.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. That's where I go. The only way I find out about news on the Evercade now is going to one of you guys' channels.
Well, it's certainly not for me. Unless you're watching one of my reaction videos, because
Well, when they announced the EXP, I first watched that on, I think it was Ed's, and then I had yours up. Not yours. Yours was the last one I looked at because you were the last one to put a video up, right, Crow? On the
well, it wouldn't surprise me because even though it's a reaction video, I still go in and edit it.
Yeah, but like in the end of the day, though, you guys are almost pretty much aligned with my thoughts on most Evercade stuff, anyway. So, it's like, yeah. And if you guys say something crazy, I'm pretty sure I would think the same thing. It's like
I had to do a reaction video for that because we didn't know what was going to be announced in that. We just knew it was going to be big. So
yeah, it was big. But I knew it. I knew they were doing a new console. I just had that.
Yeah.
Spidey.
No, you were right. I just wasn't sure if they could handle everything, you know. But yeah, that's awesome.
Come to Discord. Everyone mocks me there. It's fun. It is. It really is. Cool. I guess we're done.
Yeah. All right. Well, because of all the trolling, I'm gonna.
Bye, everybody.
Oop.
Talk to you next week.
I gotta. There we go. Okay. Yep. We're gonna because of the I can't even talk because of the troll thing. We're gonna go out of a troll theme related thing.
In disgust at Ed trying to fumble out the closing.
Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.